think then we can move on to our infamous tech trends. Shashwat?
Yep. So really huge tech trend this month was the Perseverance rover landing on Mars.
Yes, sir.
So Madeline, do you want to take over and give a brief overview what the rover is and what actually happened with the rover?
All right, check it. So we had a previous rover sent to Mars called Curiosity, and it landed and it did its mission perfectly fine. I believe it's still functioning. Don't quote me on that, but I'm still reading more about it. And but there was a lot of flaws. The wheels started eroding because of the Martian terrain. The some of the sensors and some of the machines started bugging out again because of wear and tear in the environment of Mars. So we decided to send another rover called Perseverance. And the job of Perseverance was to land a rover in the Jezero crater, which is a crater that's dead in the center of a river that used to flow on Mars. Um, and the objective of the rover was to find life on Mars. It was sent from, I think, I'm not sure exactly where. Hold up. It was sent from, it was sent on July 30th, and it landed
Mhm.
recently on February 18th. So that journey was long, yes, but it landed. It's in the crater right now. It's just going around doing missions, trying to find life on Mars. And the most interesting thing about it is it basically collects data and leaves the data on the planet.
Yeah.
It doesn't like take the data and send it to like a data stream or something. It just
Mhm.
leaves the data there. And the objective of that is that so that we can send another rover that will be like an international effort. We would be working with the European Space Agency and others to make another rover that would actually land on Mars, collect these samples, and actually shoot this back to
Mhm.
Earth. So that's again, this is a tiny cog in like a bigger machine. So it's still a very huge improvement to get a rover all the way up there. And another thing about this was it was somewhat automated. So to get data from Earth to Mars, it takes approximately 7 to 12 minutes. And a lot can happen in 7 to 12 minutes when you're trying to land a rover on Mars. So what the rover had to do was it had to automate and use machine learning and different algorithms to figure out where it needs to land precisely and when it needs to remove the mechanisms and activate the mechanisms that it had to activate to actually have it to do a soft touchdown instead of having it like slammed down on the surface of the planet. So that is my spiel on the Perseverance rover.
Yeah. 7 minutes of terror, they say, right
Yes, that's
before
exactly
landing.
what it's called.
Right. Like I think it's just mind-boggling how like NASA NASA like in the sense they can just do this and just land it like a rover on Mars is like landing just a rover on Mars is just crazy, right? Like
Mhm.
having this many components. Like I've also heard like it has like a drone
It
like in its
does.
belly,
It
right?
Ingenuity, I think that is what it's called. The
Yeah.
rover
So
inside the
the
yes, it's
rover.
called
So
Ingenuity. It's a helicopter and it's basically meant to test if flight is actually possible in Mars.
hmm yeah, it's crazy. Like I want to see that happening. Like that would be crazy. Like when like if it actually starts flying around the
It
like
will be.
around
Yeah. I'm
like and
I'm
then.
I'm just waiting on
Mhm.
to see what Elon Musk, I believe he congratulated NASA, but I want to see what he's going to do with it because the advancements that he's making is pretty sick. I'm not taking any credit away from NASA. Like huge shout outs to NASA to doing this. Right, this is a very big accomplishment. But I believe if they work together, I think we could send a human to Mars pretty faster than they have actually set a deadline for. What do you think, Philip?
I would say that I agree with you on that. But I was just like looking, I was just searching into because like I know like over time that like not Tesla, sorry, SpaceX has a contract with NASA. So I was just like searching into to see if they played any role in the Perseverance landing because one of the things that when I was like looking into the stock market over the past few days after the landing happened, the Tesla stock dropped, right? So that because like SpaceX is not a public company; it's a private company, right? So the only way to impact on Elon is through Tesla. So that was like one of the big drops that I saw because it was a drop of nearly 100 USD, right, per stock. Oh well, per one fourth or one fifth of a stock. So like I agree with you. If they continue, if they create another contract to work together, it could obviously expedite the timeline they have currently set to land a rocket or a human or whatever it may be on Mars. It would be a pretty sick and historic thing to see, I guess. And I also did not know. I only came to know now when you mentioned how this is like a section of the bigger plan of like landing another
Mhm.
rover.
What?
Like you know how you mentioned
Yeah.
Actually,
what?
bro, I've been running my mouth about this every time we talk. What do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was gonna keep data on Mars itself. Like it was gonna leave
Yeah.
it there. So I was gonna ask, like, do you know what the timeline for that is? Like, I know it's not built yet, or like it's a team effort, or like the worldwide effort on that for
I
that.
think it's I think 2026. Not
Oh,
sure.
okay, that's pretty
Yeah, like
close.
Yeah, I think so. Think so.
estimation would be that.
Hmm.
Because Curiosity was like 2011, 20, like I don't know the exact date, like
Mhm.
somewhere around there.
Hmm.
So if you see that gap, like 8 to 10 years, I
Makes
think that'll
sense.
be the gap
Okay,
for the next
Mhm.
or
so
so.
I'm guessing the drone technology will be used to find out if they can launch from Mars, right? The next rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's also another big thing. Yeah, so like this drone's basically gonna land on Mars and collect all of these data and just shoot it back to another orbiter that's like orbiting on Mars, and this orbiter is going to like take that data and come all the way back to Earth. It's
It,
all over the place, but it's super exciting.
It's a complicated system, but it sounds
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
yeah, like it's really complicated. Like I was watching like some videos about like behind the scenes stuff of them like actually building it and how big their team actually is at the Jalpa Personal Lab. So it's crazy how many people like come together to build this rover and build like components of the rover itself, right? Eh, Yeah,
Bro,
like
imagine getting co-op here, guys.
oh, that'd be crazy.
Do they
So
even do that? I think they do, right?
they do.
Yeah.
SpaceX? No, SpaceX is
JPL.
NASA or
NASA
SpaceX?
or SpaceX, bro. I don't care.
SpaceX is closed off to American citizens. That's one of the things because it's a private company and space related stuff.
Mhm.
So that was like one major thing. Like because someone had questioned Elon during a press conference, and he said he would like to open it up to everyone, but currently the government is not allowed.
JPL, like Jet Propulsion Lab at NASA, they hire co-op.
Yeah, it's
It's
open.
open,
Yeah.
but I don't know how much like they will let the co-op students work on the actual rover itself. Like no,
Obviously
yeah,
not. They wouldn't tell you to.
like maybe
Okay, if
component,
they let you do that, I don't think the rover will leave
maybe a
Earth.
component.
NASA NASA also is more open because it's controlled by the government, whereas SpaceX is still a private company,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep.
So having intel on these kind of things of rockets and so on, spaceships, spacecrafts, and so on, is like is not a good thing for the government of the United States to have out there,
Yeah.
Fair.
It's pretty cool stuff happening on the rover.
for sure.
So
So
mhm.
there's a mission to Moon that's happening to take the first woman and the next humans to Moon happening in 2022 called Project Artemis.